Hey, what do you say, boys and girls? This is Bobby Blitz May, Overkill. That's right, and you are watching The Offering.
Okay, so you started this tour just a week ago, but how is it so far?
That's good. I mean, it's business as usual, which is actually a good thing. The energy levels are high. Beginnings of tours are nobody's worn out, which is, that's why you want to do it so that you can succeed at it at that high level of energy. I think it's also a good package. I think Overkill Death Angel is a good package. My favorite band on the tour is Mothership, though. I can watch them every night.
They're fun, yeah.
They're fucking cool as hell, yeah. I mean, just a real cool vibe. And there's nice people on the tour, I've been doing this for so long, as we talked, all those years of touring, that for me, I like to do it with no problems. I like to do it with people that want to have no problems, that just want to play their rock and roll, do their thing, have a few beers afterwards, and then do it again the next day.
Yeah, and in fact, you're playing new songs, I imagine, from The Wings of War, right?
We got 3. We're swapping out Distortion and Head of a Pin, so we're prepared to do 4. Just because we want to, it's exciting to play the new ones. It's, the old stuff, I hear them sometimes in my sleep after doing Rotten to the Core for 35 years. So it's exciting to do. We're doing Garden State, Last Man Standing, Distortion, Head of a Pin.
Right, and let's talk a bit about The Wings of War. When did you know it was the right time to write this album?
We don't ever do that. We never say it's the right time. We do it on a schedule. That's why we can do, every 2 years we're almost like clockwork. There's been a few times that we're not. But I really think that's because it's not, now we're going to write. It's that we're always writing. So it's really more about assembling it to release it every 2 years. And it works for us because it keeps us visible. There's a release, there's promotion, there's every 2 years, there's touring. So I think that's, the good formula for a band that gets little exposure other places. We don't get so much radio exposure except Sirius XM, maybe some college stations. The videos are all to the YouTube channels now, so people have to search them. So to stay visible, 2 years has always worked for us.
So you follow the similar songwriting routine as for the other albums?
It's morphed into something different. We don't like to exclude people, so it's got to run through all the guys, but primarily Dee Dee and myself write it. But having Jason just join the band, to neglect his talents would be wrong because he's a super talented guy. So to have him involved in the writing was a necessity for us. So it's similar. It starts with Dee Dee and it ends with me, but it goes through the other guys from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm. And how important is for you to balance the signature Overkill sound and try new stuff also?
Well, I think people perceive us as not trying new stuff, but I think that if you hear stuff like our progression through even Ironbound to The Wings of War, each record is marketably different.
Yeah, exactly.
It still sounds like Overkill,
but
there's groove. There is really sweet melodic parts. There's majestic guitar leads. There's tons of melody on The Wings of War, where there was way less melody on stuff like The Electric Age or White Devil Armory. Much more just thrashy. This is thrash meets melody. So I like the different nuances in it. I always think it's kind of a challenge, and that keeps it interesting.
At what point you were completely happy with this album, with how it sounded?
I think I knew when we chose Zeus to mix this record, Chris Harris. The cool thing is that when he first mixed it, he did it as he would do it. Then when we brought some ideas to the mix, and he mixed with our ideas, it was right away I knew the template was good. And that was on the first song. That was Head of a Pin he mixed first.
Yeah, and this is obviously the 19th album for you. Did you expect to make so many albums in your life?
I didn't expect to make 3. Really, but because I didn't know back then. There was no rules to this. I didn't know how popular it would get or unpopular it may be quickly. And I think that, through experience of just being a music fan, sometimes a record is a great band does 1-2 records and is gone. And how would we ever know? But I think that it worked for us because we really like living in the moment when we're touring. We obviously like to have a little fun while we're touring. We don't take ourselves too seriously, but we take what we do seriously. And I think that those principles, by living in the moment, gives us more opportunities to come our way. And maybe that's why the 19 records happened, because we made the most of each day leading up to the 19 records.
And with such an extensive discography now, it must be harder to put together a set list. Is there a song that you think should always be played live?
Well, I think there's classic songs that the people who come to see us want to see. And that's got to be 5 songs. So there's 1/3 of the set list right there is gone. Then there's 4 or 5 songs we want to do off the new one. So there's another third of the set list. And then what we do for the last third of the set list, we do whatever the hell we want to do.
Right, whatever you feel like at that time.
Yeah, let's put that back in, or we never played this live. I mean, we were grabbing things off of the Years of Decay and off of Horoscope for inserting them in and out of the set as we go along. And on this one, we leaned a little bit on a record called WFO and are doing things like Bastard Nation or Under One. Necro Shine's back in the set because we all like it. That's really the last third of the set is what we like to do that's been hidden.
And also you did the documentary Welcome to the Garden State, and you talked about the history of the band. How was that experience for you? Did you feel nostalgic, reminiscing all that?
It was like reliving it. I mean, when you're talking about it, especially with the people you went through it with, the idea was Nuclear Blast wanted to do promotion, but green screen out in Los Angeles. And they were going to fly us out there and put us in hotels for a few days. I was thinking about it, and I said, we have this song, Welcome to the Garden State, and we've always worn where we came from on our sleeves, I mean, we're not jamming it down your throat, but the other side of it is we're really proud of coming from that area. And we suggested, I said, why don't you come here? So why don't you send the video team here? It'll save you guys a lot of money, and we'll get something that's way more valuable than sitting in front of a green screen. And while we were talking about it, all these things that I hadn't thought of in years were going through my head. So it was really it was a great experience for us, yeah.
So do you miss the early years of the band?
No, I don't want to. Oh, fuck, no.
So you're not very nostalgic.
No, they're all like, that's necessary, to have gone through that to get to this point, but I'm for sure, and I think you can hear it in every Overkill record, we're more proud about where we are than where we were, and I think that's important, and why the band is still relevant is that we put more into the present day. Now, when the present day was Horoscope, we were putting what we could into that. Hey, and that's a great thing. But it leads up to this moment and this talk with you. So that's why this works for Overkill.
But what do you think about how the music industry has changed and how social media became so important for bands too? Yeah, it kind of sucks, right?
Well, no, you have to reinvent yourself. Or you're a dinosaur, and obviously we don't want to do that. But I can tell you, I don't have a Facebook account. A personal Facebook account. I could care fucking less. If I want to talk to you, I have your phone number. If I want to reconnect, I'll ask somebody who knows you. That's really the way I think. And maybe that makes me a dinosaur socially, but when it comes to the business of Overkill, we're 100% aware that we need good social media presence on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. I told Ed Trunk this because he asked me once in an interview. He says, "What about Facebook Blitz?" And I said, I don't have a Facebook account. I have Sid on my Facebook account, and this way I only need one friend.
But you see, even if the modern music scene, thrash metal is still so relevant and important, so many people love it. Does it surprise you?
Well, you know what it shows me? It didn't surprise me because I always thought it had value.
Right.
I always thought that the coolest thing about this was that it alienated the masses. It was the antithesis of pop. The closest that pop ever came to this is Metallica, just because of how big that their following is. But the rest of us all kind of swim around in we've endeared ourselves to the minority. That means it's valuable, hard to throw away when the minority wants it, because they hang on to it like grim death. This is ours, and this is mine too, ours as a group. So I'm not surprised that it's that popular, but it does show me that now that it affects, father, son, granddaughter, that its value is what we always hoped it would be, that it would transcend generations, and I think it's something to be proud of. Not just me and Overkill or other thrash bands, but also the people who listen to this. They should be proud of the fact that they want to pass it down to their grandchildren or their sons and daughters. I think that's what proves that the feeling we had when we were kids about this was correct.
And plus, your music is still influencing so many younger bands. That must make you feel really good too.
It does. It does. The thing that always it baffles me is that this should be a young man's game. You know what I mean? Not old guys shouldn't be doing this. But I suppose someone there, it speaks for the experience. But I do think it's great that young bands are coming along, getting their own identities. Sure, they may use a template from the 80s, but eventually, if they're going to stay around, they'll get their own identity. Right. And I think that also proves that it continues to inspire people, even the youth, to become involved in it.
Speaking of inspiration and modern music scene, there is this awesome project, Metal Allegiance, that you participated to. Do you think you're gonna continue? Maybe next time you do an album?
Mark Meggy cannot get rid of me.
Well, that's good.
He'd kick in a dressing room door and go, "Where's that Irish fuck?"
They need you.
I love Mengi. I mean,
Yeah.
Mengi and I are we just connect on that level, and that's a real talented group of people. But Mark and I do it. I do it specifically because Mark just makes me laugh so hard, and I have such a fucking good time with him. That it's. I always say to him, "How can I say no to you?"
That's nice about brotherhood in the
for
music
sure.
scene, right?
For sure it is. I mean, and it's a real talented band. The people they bring in and out of it. Have you seen the shows? Or?
No, the shows no, but I heard the albums.
Yeah.
That really
They're worth seeing. I mean, they're really worth seeing. I really like playing live with them.
Cool. So, do you have other touring plans this year with Overkill?
So far, we did South America, then Europe. We actually started in Italy.
Nice.
And Bologna and Fortunato. In any case, so it was South America, Europe, the U.S. now with Death Angel. The second European run will happen in September. Same lineup: Overkill, Destruction, Flotsam and Jetsam. Then the second U.S. run in November. In the meantime, I think we do a cruise with Dave Mustaine and his boys. And then after that, it's specialty shows. It's go down to Central America, maybe go to Australia again, maybe do some Asian thing. But we've kind of consolidated our touring into as many A markets as possible, as to not wear ourselves out in our 50s.
You're definitely busy, that's for sure. So, at this point of your career, what would you like to achieve in the future?
I don't really think about the future. I think I'm, again, more of an immediate person. I like working on that 2-year schedule. I don't think of myself personally as done yet. Mm-hmm. I would like to make music as long as I can, because it's obviously not a career anymore. It's really just what I do. It's more of a life thing. So I don't really think about it. I mean, I'm lucky to have been able to live in Levi's and motorcycle booths for 40 years, and people want to come see this, and I run around the world like a fucking juvenile delinquent. So I mean, there's something to be said for that. There's something very youthful about having that opportunity. So I'd like to continue it. I think that's the only future plan I would have, is business as usual.
Okay. Well, thank you for the interview. Enjoy the rest of the tour.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
They're lining up in columns, they're lining up in pairs, they're lining up around the globe, they line up everywhere, without reservation, without crossing hairs.